You looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. Gang getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the waves.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by interviewing our guests and seeing where they obtained a knowledge of self and created a self-awareness, and also how they established themselves as an artist and become the self-conscious person that they are today. With me, I have a Miami hip-hop legend that I've always seen in the parties, in the mix, and always has the knowledge. I wanted to bring him in here so he could help us understand Miami hip-hop a little bit better. The one and only DJ Heron.
Yo, John, thank you, man.
What's up, brother?
Thanks for inviting me here. Thank you very much.
No problem, brother. I wanted to get you. I was talking to you earlier about it. Yeah, we want to establish how everything pretty much got started, and you're like a triple OG, so
thank you.
This is the way we got to do it.
Thank you very much.
No worries, brother. I always start the interview asking, like, what was your first, like, conscious thought as a kid? Like, when you were a kid and you actually were like, okay, I'm alive, things are going on. You could relate to things were more focused.
I guess I was in Brooklyn when I was young, and I was starting to see all the breakdancing thing coming out and hip-hop really starting off. Like, I got to see all the street parties and got to see the DJs in the streets, and I got to see
This was the 80s, stuff. Right?
Yeah, this is way before I was living in Miami.
Okay, so let's
go
go there.
I grew up in Brooklyn. So my parents are from Peru, and the first place they came into was New York.
Came to the United States just to chill, or came to visit, or
no? They came, you know how we all sneak across the lines and stuff like that. No, I'm not ashamed to it, but that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You find work here. My dad had 3 jobs, and we lived in Coney Island, and from there, you know, he just hustled and did his thing. You know what I'm saying? Worked here, worked there. My mom took care of me and my sister, and this was like in 72, 73.
Okay.
So, you know, but most of my knowledge of music came from my parents. Like, all at a young age, I used to listen to my dad.
Salsa, right? A lot of salsa?
Well, yes, a lot of Fania. I mean, my dad used to take me to, I went to a couple of Fania concerts because of my dad.
Okay.
So, Edith Chacon, I've seen a lot of famous stars because of my dad. My dad loved the music.
How old were you at this time?
Oh, probably like 5 or 6.
And you were going to the jams?
Yes, I was going to the jams.
Yo, that
because in New York,
a lot.
In New York, there's a lot of street parties and fairs.
Block parties.
Yeah, there's a lot in the parks, and you know what I'm saying, and there's so many things to do. And there's always concerts and stuff like that. So my parents would take me, but my mom would hustle tamales and sell tamales and stuff, you know, and at the same time, we'd be there, you know what I'm saying? Me and my sister would be roaming around, you know what I'm saying? But my dad used to listen to a lot of Stevie Wonder, Donna Summers, and he didn't speak a lot of good English. He wasn't clear, but he learned from watching Channel 2 and listening to the songs and watching Electric Company and Sesame Street and stuff like that. And my dad learned how to speak English through there, you know what I'm saying?
Music is where you gain conscious, like,
correct,
pretty much.
Correct. It was all music, man.
Well, at what age do you think that was? Like 4, 5 years old, 6 years old?
6, 7. And not only that, my dad and my mom, they would play for the church, and they would be in the choir, and I would be listening, you know, to them, and I would see my dad do production, set up the speakers, the mics for the choir, and
so you were like set up for music, no matter what.
Well, I mean, I saw it. I think when I really started getting intrigued about it was when my dad put me behind the board, and he was, okay, this is where you add highs and lows, and this is where you add this and that. Wow. So at a young age, at 12, 13, I was already running a mixing board for my dad because he was singing. They didn't have enough money to afford an engineer or something like that.
Okay.
So I would get behind the board and help out a little bit, and, you know.
So he taught you just enough so you could help him out with what he had to do.
Correct.
You think that changed and altered the way you listen to music?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I knew how mics sounded, and I knew how certain patterns of rhythm and certain things. It all started really with my dad being at church, because my dad played like 4 different instruments.
Okay.
So it's like I would hear him play certain things. He would strum things to me all the time, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even though he was very, he was Catholic, he was very religious, but he still went back to Stevie Wonder and Sly the Family Stone and just listened to that.
That was the jams back then.
Those were the songs.
You heard
back
that
then.
everywhere you went.
Yeah, and
Car, the store, don't matter.
my dad had a green Impala, and
There you go.
And forget about it. We were listening to that all the time. I mean, and we knew. I mean, we just knew. My dad but he also played salsa and merengue also. But when he was around me and my sister,
What was your favorite jam back in those days that you remember?
I liked Michael Jackson when we was younger. We would listen to Jackson 5 and.
Who did it?
My dad played those records. Those were actually my first records. I grabbed the Thriller album and I started scratching on the Thriller album. I fucked this record up. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
And I fucked this record up, bro. And it really. He went to play it one night at a party with his friends. And
you got
that shit was jumping. And
glad that time.
yeah, bro. He called me from left field. What? No. And then that's when a friend of his told me, no, you got to put a mat. Or you got to put something underneath.
Yeah, then you started learning.
And I started from there, I've been
Well, where'd you get the urge to do it? You saw it also? Somebody do it at a party?
Actually, I did see it at the parties. And yes, I saw the back and forth thing. And I tried it at home, of course. You know what I'm saying? And from there, I beat it was fleeted. Like, it was really bad.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, right. Well, that was 7 years old, 8 years old. When did you end up coming to Miami and why?
My dad had bad circulation, and the snow
cold
was bad for him, and it was just really bad for his feet.
Oh, wow.
So we had to move to Miami. My uncle had moved down here, and I had a cousin by the name of Manny, and he used to DJ in New York.
Okay.
And I used to carry all of his records in New York as a kid. At like 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. So my uncle moved down here first with Manny, and I already wanted to, I wanted to come see my cousin anyway because he had brought his turntables down here and everything. And my father said, okay, let's just stay down there. So we ended up resting for like 3-4 months in South Beach.
South Beach. Okay.
Right, so I was like...
So when you came to Miami, you went to South Beach?
Correct, to visit.
Okay.
We started visiting at South Beach, and it was like 12, 13 years old. And that's when I started seeing the crazy.
This was in the 80s.
Yes.
Let people know how South Beach was in the 80s.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was wonderful. That 13-year-old running around till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. Pizza and
street rats.
Bitches, bro.
Crazy.
And at a 13, 14-year-old, I was hooking up with 16-year-olds type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Back in those days, it was Wild Wild West, man.
It was beautiful, though. You could get away with murder.
Yeah.
It was the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You get away with too many things, and you think it's normal.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Big ups to Carl B.
And then from South Beach, when did you guys actually?
So my dad, my mom, they couldn't move right down here quickly. So we went back to New York. My dad had closed down a business that he was a supervisor for because the owner had passed away.
Okay.
And we went back up to like 86, 85, 86. And by 86, 87, we came back down and we moved to North Miami Beach.
NMB.
Yeah, to NMB. I ended up living right behind JFK.
Wow.
JFK Middle School. Literally 1 block away from NMB.
That was a culture change, huh?
Yeah, that was a culture shock to me.
Yeah.
Night and day, bro. Like night and day. I
Everybody
literally
says that. When they come from New York, they come out here, they're like, what the hell is this? Like,
this is what
this is paradise.
I'd hang out till like 10 o'clock in New York. Here I was in the house by 8, 7, 8, pulling my hair out, man, like 15, 16 years old.
That's because you went to the NMB. If you would have stayed in South Beach.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't be here either.
I know, man. The universe doesn't make mistakes.
Correct.
So that was your teenage years, right? NMB?
Right. That's when I went to NMB, and that's where I met Chris.
That we were talking about.
Right.
Because me and Heron were talking about where did like hip hop really established in the essence of what it is now in Miami. Like some people say NMB, some people say Kendall, some people say Hialeah. There's a lot of different sayings. And I remember hip hop parties, not hip hop in general, hip hop parties from Kendall. But then there's DJs that were DJing everywhere.
But there's also you got to understand, back in the days, there was record labels and also that was starting there was a crew named TLC, big ups to Oski.
Yeah.
And Oski was making music already on the same label that Sally was made on. I think it was Hot Records. And
You would know more than I would.
and yeah, it was Hot Records. And TLC was out there, big ups to DJ E, Leo Love, and Oski, and they were putting out records way before a lot of the clubs was even starting to do things.
So how'd you get in the mix with those people in those times?
Well, those are NMB guys. Oski's sister went to NMB, and I met Oski through Chris. I was the new kid on the block.
Got it. And you're from New York.
And I was from New York. And Chris was only playing New York shit. He wasn't playing Miami. Yeah, and
So
not only
it became a little
that,
tribe.
correct. And at that time, he started Third Eye Productions with my brother Oren.
Okay.
And from there, they did their thing, did shows, and Chris was DJing everywhere.
How did you guys get to that concept of that self-awareness to know, okay, let's start a record label?
Well, we didn't start a record label. We had opportunities. I had gotten my first record deal with Atlantic Records at 18 years old.
Okay. But this was information that you obtained from New York?
No. This is all here. This is all stuff that I got here. In New York, I didn't do anything.
Got it.
In New York, it was just, I got to see how everything was done, and I got to see the DJ, and I got to see the dancing. I guess my question
is, like, how did you know which lane to take in the sense of, like, okay, I want to get in the music business, let me get in through this avenue, or let me do this.
It was more like just wanting to do it, bro. It was
you
more
just
like
met people in conversation.
It was like I was seeing Chris do his thing, and I was like, I know I could spin too. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting my own equipment. A lot of summers, a lot of things learning a lot
curves.
A lot of curves trying to make that money.
Yeah.
Because at that time, we didn't have big jobs, so we were trying to figure out how to get turntables.
Yeah, 16, 17.
So
however
you're saving money.
It comes. Yeah.
So you're saving money. So I saved up enough chips to get 2 turntables and a mixer, and I started getting my own speakers and stuff like that, and getting records and just building my library and building my catalog.
So that was the goal, a big party DJ or a big...
Right, a big producer.
Yeah.
So I saw Chris DJing, but I was more into, like, I ended liking the production side of it. Like, I ended up producing more at that age. I was producing a lot more songs than I had a record deal at that time.
Oh, really?
Right. Before I even I was DJing already, because I learned how to mix and stuff
Little hustle.
Little stuff like that, but mainly my thing was production.
What made you lean towards production?
It was because I love making beats. I love boom bap. I love snares, kicks.
Scratch.
I love having that one, you know what I'm saying? Being that kind of, that sound, you know what I'm saying? That wow, you're the first one that came with that, you know what I'm saying? That's where I wanted to be that, I wanted that kind of feeling whenever I played something. You know what I'm saying?
You were self-aware of what you liked and what you wanted to become, the self-concept, and you just went for it.
And I went for it. And I just, shot, even though I was working and I had to help my dad and I had to help my mom.
Obstacles.
But at the same time, I knew I wanted to do that. I wanted to produce and I wanted to make.
And was there any doubt ever or fear?
Of course. There's always our biggest fear within ourselves as stars and as artists is, we get insecure about am I really DJ Heron? And at first I wasn't even called Heron. I didn't even have a DJ name. I didn't know what to call myself. I mean, it was produced by Harold, you know what I'm saying? But if Chris and some of my friends, we all came up with names and ideas. I ended up calling myself King LBS.
Okay.
And that was at the beginning when I now I have a name, see what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So.
What was one of the first parties that you really were like, okay, I'm doing this?
Wow. One of the first, like DJing?
Whatever you remember,
man. When I DJ'd, I had to DJ a lot of church parties because I was the church DJ. And I got all the Sweet 16s.
How did that work?
That was amazing because I got to play whatever I wanted to play. And plus, it was all my friends and family from church and school and stuff like that. So it was it was a lot more fun because I wasn't playing for anybody that I didn't know yet.
Yeah,
I was
just
playing,
fun.
Right, it was just, and then I can make mistakes and not worry about, it didn't really matter, you know what I'm saying?
Got it.
But you learn how to finesse it by getting more practice.
Of course.
But my beginning parties were all home parties and skip parties. And
you were the DJ.
Right. And then we used to DJ, me and Chris used to DJ at school for the pep rallies at NMB, and from there, people, it just started going. You do this party, this Sweet 16, then you're doing parties here, there, and then Chris was just doing all the big parties in South Beach. He was doing Mickey Rourke's, he was doing Jonestown, where everybody went to Jonestown, and it was at that time it was all vinyl, so we carry like 4 or 5 crates.
I know. That was what, 45 to 50 pounds a piece, maybe?
We had the big green recycle joint, so you had to carry 2 people to carry that. What I'm saying?
That was the worst.
It's horrible.
When they got the Serato, I was like, okay, now this is way better.
A lot better.
Way better.
A lot better. And now it's funny because now I did 360. Now everybody wants to do vinyl again.
Yeah, but now you get a selective. You get 1 or 2 crates, and you might be good. Back in the days, it was 4 or 5 crates everywhere.
No, it's funny because Chris would show up. To do a party, and they'd give him 20 minutes. We show up with 10 crates and 15 guys. We'd take over
He knew where everything
took
was.
over the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
It was funny, but those were the days.
So you said you had doubts. What was the conversation with self that really made you like, nah, this is really what I want to do?
If you're fresh, if you think I'm not it's funny. You start feeling like, okay, damn, do I really got it or don't got it? Do I have it or don't have it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
that constant battle.
Yeah.
So you see your friends and then they're doing, then you hear the music that's coming out and you start getting opportunities, you know what I'm saying?
Make the best of it.
Right, you make the best of it.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because we're living in a time where I guess everybody's kind of wants everything instantaneously.
Yes.
And I've been noticing a lot because I have kids, I'm
Absolutely.
not sure if you have kids.
Yes, I do. I have two grown men.
Okay. But now my son's 17, my daughter's going to be 15, and they want everything right away. Like
everything's fast,
and
brother.
I'm like, yo, that's not the way it works. You got to work for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to push through all the negative thoughts, all the doubts, and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then when you get past it, it feels so much better.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm asking you, what conversation with self did you have?
Well, it was more like when I had the deal and I saw the opportunity and I was working with the Diaz brothers, and that was when Louis was kind of mentoring a lot in me, and Hugo was always trying to help me, yo, listen, this is because besides that, me and Hugo we didn't have a deal, like a huge deal on the table yet. We had Atlantic Records, and I had signed to Atlantic, and I had a crew that when we was working together, Hugo helped us produce together, and Louis ended up being the engineer. Louis right now...
So you had a production deal.
Right. Louis right now engineers for Khaled. This is Louis Diaz. This is the guy who discovered Pitbull.
Okay.
This is the Diaz brothers. Louis and Hugo are big icons in Miami, and when their careers first started, I was there. My career was first, and they ended up helping me in engineering, and that's where I learned a lot of stuff. A lot of
fellowship, man. A lot of people don't do that, man. A lot of people would shun you away.
Louis Diaz to me was a big part of how I learned. And this is not even Pro Tools yet. We're talking about 2-track.
Wow, yeah.
2-inch reel to reel. Even that was a science on how to run SMPTE and how to have everything run together from the drum machine. And I'm only 16, 17 years old, trying to figure this out with him. Even when we first started doing our demo, it wasn't like I could do a demo on a 4-track and show that to Atlantic. No. It was, I had to really have some stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta give it to T and AJ and them being out there at that time, you know what I'm saying? They got discovered, and it was from a show, and of course it was our production, but that's what ended up getting us the deal to Atlantic, you know what I'm saying? Was them hooking up with the right management, hooking up with the right people. And
you were 16 at the time.
I was 17, 18 going.
Take us to that emotion that day. How did that feel?
Oh man. When they sat us down and they gave us a check for $250,000, you're looking at 3 kids.
Each?
No.
Okay.
No, I wish, dude.
I was like, what?
No, man, no. They don't give deals like now like that.
Yeah, I was like,
back then it was they gave you a 3-4 album deal, and
correct.
It was $250,000, but management ended up getting some, and I ended up with 20 to 30. Still though,
In those times,
at
that's a
78,
lot.
that's a lot.
In those times, it's like what, like 100,000 now?
Pretty much, about that, almost that. But I ended up getting my own drum machine, and like new stuff, every color, cross color that I had, like
How did that
Carl
feel?
Kanai. It was
Like,
great.
Let me
It
get
was,
that.
Yeah.
Let me get 2 of those.
Let me get 2 of those.
You
Let me
don't
get the
even
blue and the
ask how
yellow.
much.
And it was stupid.
That's the best. No, you need to go through that.
Right. But I regret it though.
Yes, but you need to go
But
through it. Like,
you're right. You're
like
right.
I came up on some money sometime, and then
Yeah.
I had that experience.
Yeah.
I would just go, let me get that. Let me get
Got
that.
to give my mom
The
money.
worst was Target runs because you're just like,
Yes.
and then at the end you're like, blah.
The
Like,
best, I think the best part was giving my mom money. You know, that was like, hey,
Word.
mom, like, here's bread. Like, yeah, throw that non salió. Like, where did it come from?
Hip hop.
And it's come from all that wiki
All
that,
that
you know,
things
you
you
told me
hate,
the Lord
the
of
Michael Jackson
she
scratch record.
she liked it. My dad liked it too.
She just liked that you weren't getting in no trouble.
Correct, right.
Yeah, you were doing something productive.
correct.
That's
You know, but I did. I ended up getting in trouble anyway. But it is what it is.
It
you know
was
I'm
what it
saying?
was. So with the money, what's the first thing you do? Buy equipment?
Yes, I bought speakers and I bought an MPC 60.
Okay, so you had a goal, you accomplished the goal. I think you surpassed it because you got signed and you're ready to go. Now, what's the conversation with self now?
Well, I mean, I right now at this moment,
No, back then once you got the equipment and everything.
when I got everything, then that's when I ended up having a baby at 21.
Isn't it weird how that happens?
It stops, bro. It stops everything, man. I had to be a dad, bro.
Yeah,
So
but maybe that saved your life.
it did.
It saved my life.
It stopped me from a lot of bull.
Yeah.
And I became a man. You know what I'm
have to.
saying? Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no putting things to the side. There's no procrastinating. It's all about, listen, I have to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, but I think you had good influences, like your
Right,
father and
right.
your family that showed you that. There's people
Correct.
that don't have that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they go and they steer away from it, or they fear away from it.
right,
But the fact that you had a kid and you're like, yo, it's time for me to man up,
yeah.
says a lot.
I had to put the music business on pause too.
Word?
Absolutely. It wasn't like now where you have internet and like there's no internet back then.
No, back then you
How
had
do you
to
do
move.
marketing?
You had to move.
You couldn't do your own marketing. There was no such thing.
You
There
had
was
to
no
be out.
right. You had to be out, and at that time, I mean, one of my first biggest shows was How Can I Be Down, and I was opening up for the Jungle Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It was me, T, and Jay. We were opening up for them, and
Wow.
this was big. This was when it was at the Omni, the first How Can I Be Down.
Yeah.
Peter Thomas was my manager at that time. Peter Thomas right now he's doing Housewives of Atlanta.
Wow.
And between him and Tony Deminick, they, 50-50 management of me. And
Nice.
at that time, it was like one of my biggest shows, and we were flying to New York, doing little parties here and there, you know what I'm saying? But, it was an experience, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I loved it, but when you become a dad, all that stops. Pause.
What did you do after you decided, okay, I'm going to take some time off this music? What did you get into?
Well, at that time, I was working as a counter helper at a dry cleaning spot on 183rd and West Dixie. And when my girlfriend told me she was pregnant, it was like that day was payday, and they gave me like a $300 check. And at that time, $300, I guess, was a lot of money, but I can't do nothing with $200, $300 having a kid. And that same day, I quit. And I told him, listen, he wanted me to stay, and I'll give you another. No, listen, bro, I have a kid now. It's different. It's a lot different now. So I
Did
had
you have
to.
a conversation with your dad, or this was
Not
decisions
yet.
you
This,
made on your
this
own?
is decisions on my own. I mean, I wasn't working for my dad
See
at
what
the
I'm
time.
saying?
And I had to decide on my own that this time to step up and be a man. And then I went, the next day, literally the next day, I went and applied at Brandsmart and took a job to drive a truck. And I never drove a truck in my life. And I had to lie. And if it wasn't for this kid named JC that, like...
Vouch for you?
Well, he didn't vouch for me. What happened was that I went to go apply, and they were in so desperate need of having people to see where to get the job that they just, at that time, they were just throwing anybody in the truck. So it's crazy. Big up to the Ross Transport Company. They don't exist anymore. But anyway, to make a long story short, he tells me, yo, have you ever done this before? I says, yes, I have. I've never done this before. I don't even know what I'm there for. I don't even know what they're moving. I didn't even know what BrandsMart was. Okay,
You just applied.
so I didn't even fill out an application yet.
You just showed up.
I just showed up, and it was like you have to be here at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and let's see what you're about type thing.
You're like, all right.
So he tells me, he says, this is your route. You're going to hook up with this kid, JC. He's backing up the truck. So he's backing up this 24-foot truck onto the dock, and he hops out the truck, and he's not a little bit taller than me, but he's wearing a Yankees cap backwards, you know what I'm saying? So he tells me, hey, yo, listen, this is the route. You got to load up the route like this is that, boom, boom, boom. You know, you work it like this. So I load up the truck, this, and all right, let's get out of here. We jump in the truck. As soon as I get in the truck, I looked at him and says, all right, he goes, hey, we got to go over here because we got to pick up my tools and this and that. We got to go to the car. And as soon as I grew enough balls and bravery, I said, listen, bro, I've never driven a truck in my life. It's like, oh, shit. So what do we do? It says, listen, I'm going to show you how to drive a truck. Don't worry about it. This mirror does this. This mirror, you have to watch for this corner, and this mirror is for the top.
Oh, so you got
It's just,
hands-on.
you drive stick shift? Yeah, I drive that Toyota Corolla over there. At that time, I was racing Corollas,
Nice.
and it's a 1.8, and I had like a $10,000 engine inside of my car.
Wow.
So I pull away, and that's your car, he tells me? Are you Puerto Rican? He says, no, I'm Peruvian. He says, what is a Peruvian doing with a 1.8 Toyota Corolla?
Yeah.
So he sees the car, and then I look at his car. He's got a lowrider also. So he gets his tool and jumps in. So we ended up doing the route. It was like 12, 13 stops, and it was around Miami. And we ended up coming like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was early. We left at like 6, 7 in the morning. Show up back into the dock. The manager's there. The owner's there. And, oh, this is great. These guys finished fast, quick. Boom, you know what I'm saying? Get all the paperwork. He's like, come tomorrow. I want to fill out all your paperwork so we can get you on the road again. So, okay, bring your license. So JC overheard all that, this and that, and he asked JC, how'd he do? Oh, yeah, he's good, man. Yo, he's good. Bullshit. He taught me everything on the road. It's that JC's just a beast. So he shows me everything. So when we get outside, he says, yo, come, I'm going to take you, go get your license. So we went to Skylake Mall. This is a guy I met the same day, bro.
Wow. Like
Go to Skylake Mall.
Angelito.
Go to Skylake Mall, and at that time, they had a driver's license place there in Skylake Mall. And I took the test, and I passed it. And from there, we went to my house. We drank.
This is a regular driver's license.
No, this is a Class D license. At that time, because of weight classifications in most trucks back then didn't have air brakes.
Okay.
It was like regular car. All you had to do was get an endorsement on your license.
Got it.
Which was like $20, $30, and I ended up passing it.
Wow.
Without a problem.
Okay.
With his help, though. I'm saying, boom, get the license. And we went to my crib, got a 12-pack and drank that whole night. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet him. He's my kid's godfather.
Wow. That's a good story.
Yeah. And years gone by, he runs this warehouse up in West Palm, but we still
You guys
keep
talk
in
about
touch.
that from time to time? You remember when I didn't know?
Yeah, and I ended up becoming a big contractor for for BrandsMart, going to Circuit City, working for Best Buy, having like 5 to 6 different trucks. Like, it was crazy just from learning from him, installing appliances and becoming a contractor.
What if that would have never turned out that way?
I still would have figured it out. You know, you figure it out, bro. I would have just, you put me into the trenches, I'm going to figure it out, bro.
No fear.
No fear.
Even if you do have the fear, this is going to
I'm going to shake it off, man. I'm in this spot right now. Yeah, it is what it is.
Shake it off, man.
And keep it moving.
Nice. So, all right. So you started working. I'm guessing you're making money.
Yes, making good money. I wasn't music. I wasn't doing nothing.
So take us there. How'd you get back in the mix?
Mike Ripper. At that time, Jay Smart had went solo, and I was working with Mike Ripper, and Mike Ripper had a label by Rolly Roll, and that was when dragged me back in. Like, the kids were already like 3 or 4 years old, running around.
Yeah, he didn't really have to be there helping that much anymore. I mean, you did, but not really.
Right.
Terrible twos.
Right. So I was there, but I ended up putting my little studio in the kitchen.
Okay.
And whenever I took care of the kids, at that time I was staying at home a little more. And I was still working, but at that time I had like more trucks working for me, so I could stay home. Okay. It was my business.
Got it.
So
so you went from not learning how to drive a truck to getting a license barely.
Right.
To driving a truck for a few years. Then you started your own trucking company?
Yeah. I owned like 5 or 6 trucks at that time.
Damn, man. Okay.
And at that time, I was a contractor.
This was what, early 2000s?
About that, early 2000s. And that's when I met Mike Ripper. Mike Ripper, he was already doing something with the Beatnuts. He was already working. He dropped Cream Hunt, and he needed somebody to produce his album. Okay. And we clicked really well, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I produced Stance of Darkness for him.
Wow.
We produced 3 other, we did about 7 to 8 songs.
Nice.
They only released like 3 of them. The label didn't really last too long. They were learning also. It was a Miami label, you know what I'm saying? And they had internal problems amongst the owners of the label, and shit just falls through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was what started it, was Mike Ripper got me back into the business of it. And from there, we formed Florida Room, and that's when I hooked up with my brother Fudd, Freddie Fred,
okay,
Cisco, and we, my boy, I can't forget her. I can't. Oh my God, I can't forget Leo's brother, Little J. My bad, please, because he passed away. Okay. So, make a long story short, we started that way, and I ended up producing for Mike Ripper, and I just kept making production, kept making beats, and people would come in and get beats and this and that, and I was putting on beat tapes and stuff like that, and just really putting music out there on my own. No big distribution, because at that time there was no DistroKid.
A lot of mixtapes.
Right, a lot of mixtape stuff. So at that same time, when we had the studio, I was in the studio one day, and somebody came and robbed the studio.
Whoa. Tied
me up, took everything out the studio, took all my equipment, took everything from me. 2 weeks after it happened, Sony came and knocked on my door and offered me a label deal.
Holy shit.
And at that time, I was working with this kid named Don VA, and they gave me they offered me a deal to do this project called Sindicato. Okay. And it was, that's where I met Salazar.
Yeah.
I met Fern, Laura Diamante, and these are all artists that was already established in Miami that were working already in the Spanish market and in the English market. But they kind of put all of us together who was popping at that time.
Okay.
And at that time, my production was really dope. I was working a lot doing stuff for Sony. And all that happened, and, so this was popping like maybe 2005, 2006.
Nice.
And
that was a good time. In Miami specifically.
Yeah, and at that time, we was doing big shows with Sindicato, and we was opening up for Tego, Don Omar. That was when the reggaeton started coming out.
It started popping.
And we were doing all the big Kiwanis parties in Miami. We was part of their crew. We was opening up for everybody in the Latin market.
Okay.
And that's why I got my hands really tied into the Latin market at that time. But the Latin market, the problem with the Latin market is in the American market, when you do platinum, you've sold 1 million. Mm-hmm. But when you do in the Latin market, the platinum is 250,000.
Why is that?
Because that's just how it is. Their platinum is 250,000. If you reach 250,000 because of the ratio of how...
So people like, artists like Selena were mega big.
Correct. Whoa. Correct. We're big, huge, because they reached...
Yeah, she was platinum in the Spanish market like 7.
But also the same way as the ratio is to it was the money. What it cost to have a producer in the American market make 10 grand.
Got it.
They were paying me 2G, 2,500. So it wasn't really making sense, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, that's where I brought in the mixtape game to them because of friends of mine, and I was working with Tony.
To the Spanish market.
Right, to the Spanish market. And that's why I introduced them to Tony Touch, and that's where Tony Touch came into the fact because of a friend of mine that knew him, and that's when I met Tony, right when I was in the middle of Sony and Sindicato, and me and Tony kicked it off from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys are the ones that started the party in South Beach, right? I forgot where it was, man. That you walk in, it looks like a jungle kind of, that place. It was like the first time Tony Touch was doing a residency.
Oh,
right by the school.
Right, yes. Oh, my God.
That was the first one?
That was... I can't say if it was the first one.
It had to be because I remember that. I remember, like, Tony Touch. Like, what's Tony Touch doing in Miami? And we went to that party. It was nice.
I don't know if because Tony on his own was already. Remember, he lived in Orlando,
Okay.
so he was popping in Orlando already. And how I had met him under other circumstances, but when I really got in touch and tune with him was when we did the Sindicato mixtape.
Nice.
And we did 2 of them, and that was big for Sony because, like, besides at that time, he was doing Toca Tony, he was doing
That's it.
And then at that time,
Was it Toca Tuesdays?
he was doing Toca Tuesdays, but at that Toca. I don't know if Toca Tuesdays existed at that time. I think he was already doing something down here,
Yeah.
and
He was definitely in the mix. I remember all those days.
yeah, and he used to get booked by everybody. Once he came
No, this
down,
was his party. I remember that.
yeah, it was. I think it was the Toca Tuesday party,
It was his party. It
right?
was right next to
and it was in
next to school.
correct,
Elementary school in
right?
the cut. I forget the name.
I can't remember the name.
But it was a jungle in there.
Yes,
You
it
walk
was
in
2
there,
rooms.
You're like, what the?
Yes, yes.
Those parties were fun.
Yes, those were Tony's first. We were there. Like those
Yeah.
were there was a little secret room inside,
Correct.
and those were some really pimp parties.
Chilling. It was a
Yes.
small bunch, but it was fun.
It's funny, but that's how we found out Fife passed away on
From
one
there?
of those parties. Yes,
Oh, that's so
it was me, Kid Capri, Rich Medina. No, it was me, Kid Capri, Maceo, and Tony, and I was opening up for them. And at that same night was when we found out that Fife had passed away. That same party.
crazy.
What a crazy night! There wasn't a dry eye in that room, bro. It was all Tribe Called Quest songs, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this. It was one of those parties, bro. It's crazy. I love it.
It must have turned into a Tribe Called Quest party.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
After that, it's like just keep
it's like you
going.
hear the news, and then when Rich mentioned it, and then me and Maceo were like,
What?
like yeah, like it was big.
Yeah, because you rub shoulders with a lot of these people, and take us there. How did you get into the mix when, like, a lot of people would say, Tony Touch, like, oh, like, it's so far-fetched to be
right
around these people. How did you put yourself in that mix?
Well, I getting the bookings.
Okay, so you decided to get the...
So I would hook up Tony with a phone number, like, yo, call this guy. He wants to book you, and that's where I started learning. And then Tony would break me off a little something, but it wasn't like what he would take home, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And or it wouldn't be the same thing as if Maceo, so, and I would get them bookings. So, but at the same time, I would, at the same time, I would help get the bookings and throw myself in the mix. And
So you'll help them get the party and also...
and I got to
open up.
spin, right? You got to book me to spin too. So I would do that, you know what I'm saying?
mix.
And that's pretty much where I really got started into the bookings and doing my own shit, you know what I'm saying? Using my name.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, if it wasn't for you, a lot of shows would have not happened. Because for like a 5-year span, you were dropping a lot of
I
parties.
was doing a lot of shit.
Mobb Deep was here.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
I did Maceo versus Ali Shahi Muhammad.
Yeah.
I did P-Rock versus Premier.
Mm-hmm.
I did also Mobb Deep when they first came down, and K.O.S won.
That was the same party.
The same right.
That was at
it was
the
at the stage. Yes, I was one of the booking guys at the stage, and that's when I really got to learn the business.
Yeah, because that's when I was like, every party was a DJ Heron party. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, he's bringing them down for sure.
And that was when I really learned. Then it's funny because, big ups to Johan. When I kept telling Joe, yo, give me a shot, man. Like, let me get in. Like, I was already getting booked. I was a residency at Stash in Fort Lauderdale, which is Revolution Live, and they had a brown bag party, and that was me and Immortal with resident DJs for almost a year and a half there at Stash, and then at the same time, every time they did a bookings, since Immortal was doing the radio station, the other hip hop DJ they had was me, so I got to do like opening up for DMX for 2 hours, opening up for what's Eminem's group with Joey with
D12?
No, Eminem's group that the 4 guys. I can't believe I can't remember. It has
Before D12.
before. No, it's after D12. D12 had broke up already. This is when Eminem.
Slaughterhouse?
Slaughterhouse, correct.
Okay.
I was up for Slaughterhouse. It was a lot of big parties that Revolution Live was doing, and I ended up doing some bookings for them, helping them with certain things, and at the same time getting the booking, and at the same time learning the business of how it's done. And that's where pretty much I got a lot of learning. I did a show with Absol, and it was for a brown bag, and I only ended up getting like 10%. And I was like, you know, this is not fair. Everybody's going home with G's. The club made a couple G's. He made a couple G's.
You're the one that put it together.
And I get 10%. So I was like, you know, no, I have to invest my money.
Okay.
And that's when I really, so when I did, my first show that I really booked was Raekwon. And the club was laughing at me. It was like, how are you going to do one Wu-Tang member?
Where was this at?
At stage.
Was it at the stage?
Yes. I did Raekwon first, and then I did K.O.S. one after that. Okay. That was my very first show.
Then you did Raekwon again, but in another small venue.
No, same place.
Same place? Okay.
Right. I did Raekwon, and Raekwon, I'm going to say was under 10. You know, I don't want to specialize what the price was, but I took my little income tax check and gave him half.
Got it.
And that's when the club was like, how are you going to do one Wu-Tang member? It doesn't make sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't.
You just don't understand.
Yeah.
Ended up selling out. 1,000 people showed up to the stage, and it was crazy. From there,
just kept getting bigger.
It just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I mentioned K.O.S. one was coming, sold that out in a heartbeat, and that's when the club was like, yo, he's onto something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I became the booker for the club.
Yeah, then COVID hit, right?
Right. Right after that, like way after that, maybe like 5 years after that, because at that time, Drink Champs had started also.
Correct.
And any artist that was coming down here would go to Drink Champs. Like from, you know, I'd bring them down and then boom.
You had your way in, yeah.
Right, and then they'd come to do the Nori and EFN party. So I was always in E's ear, like, yo, I got Mobb Deep coming. It's okay, cool. So we set up something so they can do Mobb Deep. We'll try to get them to do Drink Champs, right. So it was always love, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know, it didn't matter to, but Nori showed love and came to the parties all the time because he knew I was the one that was throwing them.
Yeah.
So big ups to Dream Champs. Them boys always showed love.
Yeah, man. They've definitely gotten us to a different viewership. Yes. You know, people know Miami, but now they know Miami for a different.
Correct. And a lot of my success has a lot to do with them and like putting me out there. Like they've put me on the show. Like when I did the premiere and Pete Rock battle, I mean I went because I had to go take care of something, and they were filming the podcast at the venue.
Yes,
and I was there, and that's when Nori calls me. I was like, "Yo, H, come here, man. Yo, this is the guy that does all the parties, you know." This, and I'm like, "Oh shit, you know, love."
Hell yeah, love.
And that's
the way it should be in Miami, man. Everybody should be like that. I've had other podcast episodes that I've said it like, "Yo, everybody has to have an artist fellowship, and everybody has to help each other out, man." Because Miami is very like separate.
It got really finicky. It got like, I don't want to work with this guy. I don't want to work with this guy. And this,
or I want to get all the money, so I don't really want to bring everybody else. Right, man, that doesn't work out.
And it's funny because I kind of, you don't want to have that thought in your mind, but you know what? I ended up being picky of who was the ones I was working with too, because it was just smooth run. You know, I booked Excess, I booked Classic, I booked Self-Born, and I knew these were guys that were in that market. Yeah, that they would bring their own crowd, and you know they would bring their own people. You know what I'm saying? And this is how I started building that crowd. You know what I'm saying? And just booking them, and they would come see them, and they see everything else, and you know, and the shows and the parties started getting bigger and bigger. Bigger, yeah. Started getting really bigger.
Really big. I think Mobb Deep was crazy. I remember getting in there. It was nuts.
It was nuts to get in there.
And I was already in there.
The K.O.S. one was huge.
That was one of the biggest ones.
The K.O.S. one, if anybody ever remembers the stage and how it only, the capacity was 250 people.
Inside and out, or
no,
just general?
There was no legal outside. That's kind of why they lost the spot too. Oh. Because the outside, we kept doing events in the outside, bringing thousands and thousands of people. And it was just monotonously crazy. Like, but with so much going on and this and that, not one fight, not one problem. There wasn't.
I think it was one time the guy was breaking in the cars outside.
I don't know that. I don't know about the breaking in the cars.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember because rest in peace, Da Vinci. I go outside and I see Da Vinci mad and pissed, and I'm like, yo,
I miss Da Vinci, bro.
I miss him. That's it. Yesterday was his birthday.
Oh, feliz cumpleaños, papi.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God,
One
love
of my
that
favorite
guy.
guys ever.
One of my favorite guys too. He's the humble, and I don't think he got enough. Like I didn't even go to his funeral because I didn't know where his funeral was.
Well, the funeral, I don't go to funerals because it's just a bad funeral.
I had to show
But
love.
I went to the gathering they had before that and everybody was there, and
See, I didn't know about none of those things.
I mean they put it out there. It was on social media, but I mean a lot of people reached out. I reached out to a lot of people, and we ended up going. It was good times, man. And we saw a little video of him and his life and what he had accomplished. And
Incredible
cool.
brother, bro.
Awesome.
He un pan de Dios, like they say, bro.
No bad things to say about
I
that
can't say nothing bad. Is and he was big in the J Dilla Foundation. And
yeah, man, he's the one that brought the J Dilla Foundation here.
well,
Remember that?
I brought J Dilla Weekend. It was
When we had it in that warehouse.
yes,
That it was also at J Electronica.
yes, that was me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was all me. That was me. I did J Dilla 1 and J Dilla 2. That was, but the second, my boy had more pull on the second one, and it was all good, but we still got to program it. You know, that's when Diamond D came. That's when, it was 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Big ass warehouse.
I did 3 days.
That was
We did 2, but we did 3 days. The J Dilla Weekend was crazy. The first one.
Nuts. Whatever happened to that?
Well, what happened, and I really don't want to get into too much because
Mom Dukes?
Mama Dukes was everything. Like, I love her to death, like she's always showed me love, always hit me back and forth. It was more like her husband and the other people started getting into the business after they saw it was successful.
Yeah.
And then we already had a standard deal. I was paying my Dukes to be here. I was paying to have the licensing of the name.
Got it.
And somebody got greedy about it. And it changed the whole deal. And I couldn't.
Didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense at all to do it. And I regret it because to this day, people still asking me to do J Dilla Weekend again.
That was a fun
And
time.
I could.
But those were different times, man. You think you could pull it off now?
Yeah.
These times?
Absolutely. It's absolutely.
You drive a truck without knowing how to drive a truck. You could definitely pull that off.
I'm actually doing a show with J Electronica coming up in a couple months.
Where's this at?
I'm gonna do it at the Lincoln Brewery.
Nice.
Yes.
That seems to be the new spot.
It is. But I got some other things popping. I got Method Man coming to chemistry in Fort Lauderdale.
Oof, nice.
And then I'm doing something with Currency at the Lincoln Brewery also, and probably working down the line. I got my partner in crime, Dan Green.
Okay.
From Clockwork Music. I mean, and we just coming with the ideas, and he does tours for
Are you throwing any other local?
Of course, we always throw locals on. Like you
gotta
gotta understand, a lot of Fane's
Mowgli
success.
You got to get Mowgli, bro.
Mowgli's always on. Fane,
Mowgli
a lot
is
of
on
Fane's
fire right
success he's opening up in a lot of my shows.
Mowgli gets it popping.
Yeah, Mowgli gets it popping.
Shotty gets it
Shotty gets it popping. So does Orion, and so does
They all,
Excess.
that whole
They get it
crew,
playing.
they're starting to get the energy. But when it comes down to the delivery, the lyrics,
Yeah.
they got it.
They do.
And
I'm proud of them. The scene right now is
Miami,
tight.
Like the underground scene, like come holler at Miami.
Yeah, that's
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Come test it. Come test it.
Nice.
It's really nice right now.
You got to get them all.
Especially with Shotty and Mowgli, and
Together is.
well,
perfect.
I mean, if you went to my last show, Art Basel was all Shotty was.
Dude, I
on.
was sick.
Oh my God.
You didn't get sick? I got
I
sick.
did get sick, but
I
still had to
hating,
work.
I was like, I wanted to go. That was one of the ones that I wanted to go. I got to go to the Crazy Hood.
Oh, the
Perfect.
Jazzy Jeff.
That one was dope.
Yes, that
I
was
think
dope.
I saw you there in the back, and then we were chilling. But the other one, I was sick. I was like, especially outside, the weather was not right. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna get people sick.
No, I did. I had to be there.
You're like,
I
fuck.
had no choice. I had to be there.
I didn't want to do that. I was like,
What I did is I let go of. Like I had Omar DJ for XS. I had XS. He DJ for Benny the Butcher and some other stuff, and then I took a step back this year, and then I had 6 Mills DJ for West Side Gun, like before West Side Gun on, And normally those are my sets.
Yeah.
I usually take the advantage and do my shit there.
Yeah.
But I pulled back because I was sick and
Yeah, he didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it. I didn't want to test my. Plus, my turntable was acting up at that time, and Six was like,
all the signs
it was just
were like,
all the signs of don't do it. You're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Just go watch the show.
Yeah.
And I did. I literally just stepped back.
It was a good show, good turnout.
Bro, it was a crazy show, and the problems that I went through with VIP, JT Money showed up. Bro, anything that I would not expect for this to happen happened.
Yeah, but I don't think that Lincoln's Beer is prepped for something like that.
They're not. But
It's
where else am I going to do it? And not only that,
that's the question.
Not only that, it's the only venue in Miami where artists can really be artists.
Correct.
I got to give it to Pat and Lincoln Brewery, like they're doing their thing.
To me, it's the same thing as a stage, except
Correct.
the stage had a nice setup.
Right, that's the only difference. It was a different setup completely, and how the layout was.
Correct.
But now they're working on that. You know, ever between me and Crazy Hood,
Yeah.
you know,
The guy that Pat.
it's gotten crazy. Okay, I'm gonna lie. I can't say the right number because I'll get in trouble.
You're gonna lie before you lie.
I'm gonna say the capacity over there is 750. I did more with K.O.S. one.
Outside and in or inside?
Both inside, outside, upside down.
No, I'm talking about
upstairs.
like the parking lot area.
No, I didn't do the outside. At K.O.S. one, we always did. When we consider outside, and we talk about the outside and inside of the bar.
Correct.
Okay, the whole thing. Okay,
750.
DK. 750, but it was more than that. But I'm gonna say 750 because that's what Pat told me.
And there's one bathroom.
Pat told me to stop at 750.
Bathroom.
Right. So 2 bathrooms. Right. Yeah, 1 bathroom. But yeah,
Nuts.
and it was a success, bro. It was crazy, but because of that one, because of the premiere, because of the Jazzy Jeff, because of I've done a Havoc
You're
there.
doing it again. Exactly
Right.
what you were doing before.
And
Gonna
now
get bigger and bigger.
now like they're changing their production. It started. They had to put a canopy and it's everything. That more power. They got an electrician back there. The sound changed. And it's just because they're understanding more what the need is to do a show.
Of course.
The VIP entrance, the entrance to the back, the
It's
acknowledgement.
worth it, man. Miami needs a place like that.
Right.
I just wish it was a little bit more
You remember back in the days, the clubs there, like Will Call.
Hell yeah.
And
nobody took
Grand
advantage
Central.
of Will Call. Nobody took advantage of Will Call.
I had Will Call for a year and a half. I was a resident for Sunday nights there.
Yeah.
And
I think you had one time performing.
yeah, I did. I had there perform one time. And I loved that, man. Will Call was everything.
The best.
Will Call was everything.
Nobody believes me.
No.
I'm like, that was a 24-hour
Yes.
bar. They're like, no.
Yes.
Dude, it was right in front of the arena. I don't remember
And
that. I was like,
being Sunday, being the Sunday that I had the night, I had everybody and their mother there.
No, I know. I used to show up all the time.
And
I used to live a block away at the Madison, right there.
Oh, there you go.
I used to be there religiously.
My set, my part was from 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. So I had 4 DJs and it was crazy, bro. But I
wish that place was still there.
Oh man,
now
I
it's
miss
a parking
Will
lot,
Call.
right? No, now it's a hotel.
It's a hotel.
Citizen Hotel.
Yeah, it's a Citizen Hotel. Incredible, good times. Grand Central too. Remember Grand Central?
Grand Central. I missed that.
I did Rakim there. The Locks.
Hell yeah, I was there for that one.
The Locks. I did. I DJ for Supernatural.
Which was the show that was downstairs, not upstairs? It was a big ass show.
There was upstairs too.
Yeah, but the show was downstairs. I forget. I blacked out a lot in those days. Dude, it was Will Call, Grand Central, and then you had Gold Rush that was there instead of 11.
And then Space too sometimes.
That was in a 2-block radius.
Right. And then what was the other one? Starts with an N. It was right next to it.
You up the stairs?
Yeah.
Nocturnal?
Nocturnals. Oh my God, Mad Nights and Nocturnals.
Yeah, Nocturnal was crazy. You go up there and it's all red. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yes. Good times.
You know how many times I ran into people there and they were like in another planet?
What? Stop. Oh my God.
You're like, yo, what's up? It's like, okay, he's not here.
Yeah. Fudged up.
Dude, those places were, wow, they don't have that anymore.
No, there's not. They're not the same.
So if it's not Lincoln's Beer, where else could we throw a party, man?
I mean, you really can't. I mean, now that the Belly Boys have chemistry.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into chemistry. The Belly Boys, we did our first show. The Belly Boys have been doing their monthly party, and it's been very successful. 90s, the best of the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The DJs, XS, which is XS, 6 Mils, 300, and it was J Days at that time. And for a whole year, they kept the party going, and really successful. Where it moved, now they're doing it in Delray. Wow. Yeah. Right. So no, but still though, I had a couple people from South Beach come to it. Like, it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter, but it's still a drive.
But it's still, bro. You're not gonna get the music that you hear in these parties.
Yeah,
you're not gonna hear anywhere else.
There's original parties,
and
people don't understand it.
Like, and their bookings. I mean, like, you gotta understand, like, the people that come out to these parties really haven't gone anywhere. Like, they go to other parties, but they'll come to this one and be like, I only come to Belly parties, or I'll come.
When I look at the lineup, I'm like, yo, it's like an early 2000 party.
Yeah, and
it's the real deal.
And it's really, really very, very, like, you go and you really hear some shit you ain't heard in a while. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the vibe.
Yeah, and now that, I'm more involved with them, and we get ready to do, like, Belly New York. We want to do Belly Las Vegas. And our first show that I worked with them, we ended up bringing Smith & Wesson and Black Moon.
Yes.
At the Lincoln's Brewery.
Yes. I saw them, when was it? Right there. Where is that club that was under the I-95? In Brickell? Smith & Wesson was there.
Oh, the Sidebar.
Yes.
That was
yours?
That was mine too.
Yeah, I went to that one. That was dope.
It's funny because people tell me, "Oh, I saw Smith & Wesson at Sidebar," and yeah, that was mine. I did that one.
Was after
Bones.
that?
I did Bones too.
Bones was dope.
I did Bones 8 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, and the reason is why is because an ex-girlfriend of mine was a big Bones fan, and I was, you only do boom bap, like.
So the Bone in Revolution Live, that was your party?
Yeah, no, that wasn't mine.
Okay, because that one was.
See, the thing with Revolution is that's my competition. Revolution Live is owned by I can't believe I can't. Well, it's a bad day. I had a long day. I got up at 5 in the morning.
Well, get another beer, bro.
Yeah, let me get another beer.
Pass me another one. Stop being greedy.
Here you go. Hey, man, you're going to have to pop this one open for me.
That's what she said. So, yeah, man, like, you're always doing your parties. You're always doing your thing, and I appreciate it because when it comes to hip-hop, not that many people want to get involved or do it because I've had actual people that promote, and I've been telling them, like, look, I know this person. And they're like, yeah, man, but that party doesn't really sell,
It's okay.
I want to sell bottles and tables and blah,
Nobody's
blah, blah,
doing that no more. Nobody's doing bottles and tables anymore.
You don't have a lighter?
No, I don't have a lighter. No.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that I appreciate what you're doing. I wish that somebody would help you do this to get it even more popping. But between you and E, I think you guys could get a lot of things done.
Well, you got to understand, like E's been doing mixtapes and working and doing his thing for a while, you know what I'm saying?
Since I remember.
And E's had the store. Remember the store he had in Kendall?
Yes.
Where all of his mixtapes and, he had it. I used to go to that store, but I didn't know E that well either, you know what I'm saying?
The thing is that I was always on the beach, you know what I'm saying? So I knew, like, in Ties, I knew Effect, I knew E-Rock. You remember E-Rock?
Yes, I remember E-Rock, of course.
I used to chill with them, man, and I used to do my thing. But when it came down to, like, going to Kendall, I was like, bro, that drive is too crazy.
Yeah.
Unless it was a craze.
Where did you live?
On the beach. I lived on 5th in Michigan. I lived on 2nd and Jefferson. I lived on West Ave and 13th.
It was expensive to live on the beach at that time.
Nah.
Really?
Nah, man. Okay. Why do you think I moved? Every 6 months, my mom would be like, all right, we're moving.
Oh, nice.
To a cheaper. Next thing you know, I'm in 71st Street. Like, what are we doing over here?
Wow.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Yeah, they were.
They were fun days, but it was still rough. The beach, that's what I'm saying. Like, back in those days, it looked nice and everything, but those days were crazy.
Yeah.
So tell us now, what's popping off? Not the Belly thing, but with you, what's going on? What's new?
Oh man, I'm getting ready to drop an album with my niece. Her name is Jazzy Soto. It's kind of like on some R&B hip hop thing. Me and XS are back in the studios. He just finished a project with my homie Mario. They just dropped that But I've been concentrating. I've been working on this other kid named Sidney Portier, trying to finish his project. But my concerns right now is trying to get my niece like really popping. Like she's really dope.
How old is she?
She's 23, 24. But her writing skills.
Yeah.
She's like an old soul in the new body. Like, and she writes like
English and Spanish or just English?
mainly English, but she's been dabbling on the Spanish side a little bit.
She has to.
Right. I don't have to force it to her. She wants to do it though. You know what I'm saying? But her English skills, her pen is fire.
And when is she releasing anything?
Hopefully, man, we have something out there that I've been giving to the DJs called Waves.
Okay.
And it's out there, and some of the DJs have been playing it here and there. But I haven't really put it out yet. Like, I haven't really done a full promo. I've just been testing it to see what everybody thinks. And, man, I'm getting good responses. Like, I was in the car, and I had ended up doing a show with Black Sheep for the Lincoln Brewery. It was the anniversary party.
Yeah.
And the song came on, and Drez is next to me. And he's like, what's this? And, and that's when he heard it and was like, yo, that record is fire. Like, yeah, that's my niece. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, he likes it. I let a couple other heads here.
Yeah.
I let my boy Dan hear it. Dan's like, yo, that's pretty fire. So the DJs is liking it. So I haven't done a good run of it or good out there.
When's she going to promo it?
That's what we're deciding now. We're figuring that out.
Let me know. Bring her here, man.
Yeah, I will.
100%.
Yeah, she's fire, bro.
Yeah, because we want to get, like, how people develop the self-concept or how people are developing it.
Yeah.
So if we could get all those angles, we understand how to go about decision-making better, you know?
She's a young soul, bro. She's an old soul in a young body, but she's fun. She's quirky, if I can say
Energy.
that. Right. It's like life, and
It's rare.
very rare to find somebody with this kind of.
Everybody's like this.
No doubt. And then the thing is, you know, she's my niece. Like, you know, like so.
So it's a different.
So everybody's like, you know, she's your niece. No, it's not that. I don't.
Well, it is. It is. But you're doing it in a prideful way. You're like, yeah, this is my niece.
Yeah, but even though I try to avoid that. Like, my son wanted to be a rapper, and I was like, no, get in the books. Like, no, don't. You know, he wrote rhymes, you know, but it wasn't to a point where I can be like, you know, yeah, okay, dope. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, it was nice.
How old was he when he started, right?
16, 15, 16, you know.
Be like, look, this is Nas at 16.
Right, no, he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows. I don't have to, come on.
He knows.
He knows. If you're around me, you're going to hear it.
Of course.
So he had no choice. At the age of 3, he was, you know, smoking the air and music in the car. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds that I'm saying it, but that's just how it was, you know. Okay. And he developed all that knowledge and knowing the music because he was around my friends, and he got to meet Black Rob, you know, and he met Raekwon, you know, at a young age. Black Rob was coming over my house, and it's funny because he'd show with the Range Rovers in my house, and he's in my house, and we're working, and the kids see him walk into the building, and they're freaking out, like, yo, Black Rob just walked into your house, like, you know. And my kid doesn't know who's Black Rob. Yeah, he doesn't know.
How old was he at that time? Like 10?
He was like 15, 16. 15, yeah, he was young. Yeah. He was like 16, 15, 16. But he knew what war was, but he didn't know who. He could have put but when he started, then I had like 10 kids sitting in front of my house, like waiting to meet Black Rob, like, you know. And these were young kids that knew who he was from the neighborhood.
Of course, he was the one
at
that time.
Black Rob, like, you know, he was always at my house when he lived down here. Like, for like 6 months, he stayed with me, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so we ended up working on it. I got a lot of Black Rob records that I haven't released yet.
Really?
Yes.
When are they planning on releasing that?
I got to get with his family because I want his family to get the residuals. His daughter especially, you know what I'm saying? So I could drop it. I got a song with Thurston and Black Rob that's been doing numbers. I'm in the 100, like, big numbers.
Yeah.
It's called Man of Respect.
Okay.
Thurston still performs it, and you know, but the song every month, you know, just people hitting it, like, you know, people listening to it and checking it. But I definitely, if I release those, I have about 8 songs that I know I definitely want to do with his family. My production, yeah. Nice. My own stuff. And me and Black Rob, like, really worked on some stuff, man. I got some heat with him, bro. I got some nice heat with him that we just, and I could drop maybe 2 songs you know,
gotta be right.
Right. I want it to be right. And then,
but you can't wait on it too long because then it gets a little
but then
outdated.
somebody was saying, come on, bro, no.
The production
is not. The production, the thing about production in hip hop, some stuff is timeless, some stuff isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And if you haven't heard it, you couldn't tell if I made it today or made it yesterday.
True.
So that's how most songs, there's catalogs. I have stuff with Dynas that's never been released.
Okay.
I have a song with Rockness and Legacy that hasn't been released yet. I have, songs.
You gotta do your own lost tapes mixtape.
Pretty much I could. Sure. But it's because most of the time, not that the time is not right, but the business and how do we release it and this and that. And Dynas moved and I didn't grasp the time where I was supposed to. And you lose the opportunity, but then you listen to it and it's like, God, this song is so timeless.
Yeah, you can't just sit on it. Or you can and then wait for the right time, but then it might
But then
not
when
come.
is the right time? So it catches digital dust.
Now.
Yes,
If
now
not
is
now,
the right
then
time.
when?
Now is the right time, correct. And that's also with that conversation that we heard about how do you focus and be that you're not insecure in your own self. We're our own demons, bro.
Yeah, you have your doubts, your thoughts. Like I always ask people, like, do you ever wonder that voice in your head? That's not you most of the time.
No.
Because there's times that I answer it back. I'm like,
correct.
Or I'll be in a situation where it'll just pop up like a thought, boom.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be something that I would naturally think, So I'm like, it has to be something. It has to be more than what we know.
Yeah.
But then when you learn how to listen to it, that's when you start gaining the knowledge itself.
Yeah.
So the intuition mixed with the mental status, mixed with the experiences, mixed with the feeling, thought, then action, not feeling, action, thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like you'll get upset and you'll have an action right away.
Right.
And then you think about it, you're like, damn, I should have not done that. But if you could flip it, have a feeling, you think about it, and then you have the action,
right?
Everything smooths out.
Everything.
So that's what I'm trying to get across, man. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, brother. Salud.
Salud, brother. All right, we're almost at the end of the interview, bro. You've incited us and you've told us all about the Miami hip hop, and now I understand a lot. I'm like, yo, you've been in the mix since what, 2000?
Yeah, 80.
That's a 26-year run, though. That's fucking classic.
Maybe more, bro.
Maybe even more.
80, like 90.
And
like
still
90.
When in the 90s, I was like early teens, man. I was just trying to get out to the parties. But you were already in the mix.
I was on the outside looking in. And I had my deals, but even when you had a deal, nobody ain't heard your shit. You ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying?
This has been the 90s. The 90s,
right? It's not like I could go on Instagram and post back then and be like, "This is my new song." I can't. There's nothing like that.
Like I learned of Trick Daddy. Like I was in a pizza spot eating a pizza, and some guy just came up to me and goes, "Here, man, listen."
Same here.
And I'm like, "Who's this?"
Trey 6. Also.
Trick Daddy. I'm looking at him like, Trick Daddy. Who the fuck is Trick Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got in the car, I threw it. I was like, "Oh shit." Who's Trick Daddy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I got music back in the days.
Yeah.
Because now you just search what's new, what's hot,
right?
Hip hop.
But we used to go. We used to go hunting. Me and Chris, man. We used to go hunt for records.
You had to, and there was no record stores out here. Not that much.
Well, they were.
The Beach, there was one.
There's
163rd, there was another.
On Bird Road, there was this place called Carlisle's.
Yeah.
Right?
So think about that.
No, but in North Miami Beach, we had two spots and nobody knew all around.
The one on 163rd.
Right. The one on 163rd. There was also a Peaches right there on 163rd.
Correct.
And then there was Bob's, the jazz store.
Okay.
Okay, now the jazz store was a record store, and it was right around the corner from NMB High School. So on the way to Chris's house, we'd go there. And it got to a point that they didn't know what was hot.
So they were selling everything cheap.
No. Right. Everything was like $2, $1, this and that. But then they started catching on when me and Chris used to like stash records on a certain spot because we didn't have the bread to get it. We'd come back tomorrow and get it.
You put it in the orchestra place?
Right.
The opera section?
And it's funny, Bob will come out and he'll start reading, it's not Gangstar, but it's produced by Premier. So then he started figuring out, okay, So it's not a genre just on hip hop, based on hip hop. It's based on production and who the MC and what the group is. So he started catching on. So then the Premier record started going for $5, and it was mainly our fault because we would search the records on who produced it because it was a bunch of artists that didn't have like the clout, like J. Rue the Damager. You know, I know I've heard him on certain songs and stuff like that because of Premier and stuff like that. Correct. But when he first came out, nobody knew who he was, and you know,
like Dell.
Correct. Same with Dell. Same, a lot of artists, and the owners of the record store, they knew jazz. They knew who Bob Coltrane was. They knew John Coltrane was. They knew.
They didn't know how they remixed it.
Right, but they didn't know. They didn't know who Pete Rock was. They didn't know who Marley Marl was. They didn't know. So we would catch a record and okay, this one. So we don't make a big thing of it. You know, just
I guess I'll take this one.
Yeah, I'll just take this one. You know, play it off, and he would see and he'd write it down. Marley Marl, write down, and he got smart. You know, he started. And then after like a year later, this when stuff like he made a hip hop section. And the jazz store ended up becoming an underground.
I lived that. I remember going to Specs. I remember going to with Uncle Sam's. I remember that. They had like 3 sections, and all of a sudden it started growing.
Yeah.
It's like R&B, hip hop,
right.
hip hop soul. I was like, okay, now it's starting to grow. Music's growing. Now you got how many genres?
Jesus, man.
Can't count it.
Can't count. So it's too many genres.
I don't know. What do you think of that? What do you think about all these genres?
It's great, man. Music is music. I listen to everything, man.
Yeah, but categorized.
Who cares, bro? I mean, think about it. The only people that should care is your label because you're trying to make money off of it. But regardless of the point, there's so many artists intertwining with artists and new music started every day. It's hard to keep up, first of all. And then second of all, if you're going to be judging everything, you really don't have an open mind to how the music is now. Okay, and I'm not a big trap fan.
I was about to say that.
I'm not, but...
You're the person to ask. Do you consider trap hip-hop?
Of course.
How?
It's hip-hop, bro. I mean, it's a different form of hip-hop, but there's no... Okay, we know we have boom bap. That's the ultimate grace of... That's the beginning and everything, but what do you call older hip-hop music? What do you call Griselda? Can you call it boom bap? It's not. But it is, though. But it ain't.
Because it's the beginning of...
Right, it's
So now it's already there. So now you got trap.
Okay, but I'm saying but where's it the beginning of what, though?
Okay, but let me ask you this. What's your favorite trap lyric?
I don't have one.
See?
But it's still hip-hop. Even
okay.
though,
you know more than I do.
Think about it. If it's not going to be on the R&B genre,
that's what I'm saying. Just have trap.
Yeah, they can also have trill.
What if they put reggaeton in reggae?
It's not going to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. Just have your own genre.
Right, but it's okay. Here goes a big classification that really, it's left field, but you'll get the same idea. Cocaine and marijuana are classified the same exact thing.
Yeah, but that's a totally different realm.
But it's not if you're a drug addict.
No, it's not if you're a politician.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But as a drug addict, because I love weed.
You know. Because you tell a guy with coke he wants weed, they'll look at you and be like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get away from me.
Fuck you talking about?
Exactly.
Right, but if you look at a guy who wants weed and you talking to him and it's weed, it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
So a hip-hop head, you tell him, yo, you listen to this trap song, you look at him and be like, no.
Right, exactly. Same exact thing. Like
So it's not.
But if it is, though. It's the same.
It's like not, but it is, though.
Correct.
Now, should it be?
It should have its own classification.
Correct.
But who's going to make that? Like, who's going to... These guys...
There's got to be a governing body that says it.
But it's not like you have... Okay.
All right. Bambaataa got everybody together and said, look, these are the elements.
Right, but
this
they
is how
don't
we're gonna
have...
do it.
Who? Okay, right.
Why can't there be somebody that does that?
Because these guys are not thinking like that. If you really think about it...
It's you, Heron.
It's me?
Do it.
Think about it. Think about this. Who's going to be their leader? Drake?
But it's not a leader, just somebody that speaks out.
Okay, but who's that? Drake is cheating already. He's treating Spotify and with his bots and all these.
People are going to hate me for this, but...
And because of him lying of his bots.
Drake is a good artist.
Okay, I get it. But because of his bots and him lying about who's really listening to his shit, it fucks everybody else's algorithms up.
Not real hip-hop. Because you know
Everybody.
what? I always get shit for it. Because people put some Drake shit, and I'm looking at them like, yo, change
You're
this.
looking at like a big lawsuit right now because of what's happening. Spotify got sued, and it's somebody like E40 that sued him.
Yeah, but E40's been in the game forever, and he knows
That's my
the ins and
point.
outs.
But that's my point. My point is, it's not one of these young bucks that's going after it.
True.
It's going to be somebody that's old and this and that. Somebody that has knowledge of what the music business is and what goes on and how the algorithms work. Nobody understands that shit. Plus,
I think nowadays they honor the algorithm more than they honor the sound. So the sound could be off, but it's getting 100 million plays. It's
right. And I'm going to like it because 100 million people like it.
But do they?
Yeah.
Are they bots?
Correct.
Is it reality?
Don't know.
Which leads me to my next question. What do you think about AI?
Oh, man. Why do we go there? I had this conversation with my sister Debbie and Jazzy about it.
Because we're the old folk that have to deal with it.
Embrace it.
Or the governing body
Listen,
that has to say
just like it's when Serato came out. Embrace it. There was DJs, this ain't real DJing, and ain't got to use a laptop and this and that. And you're not using vinyl. You're not a real DJ. But then I did a DJ battle, and I beat some DJs using my laptop, and it was... but you have to embrace technology, bro.
So you go with the flow. You said.
Absolutely. I don't do. It's funny, but I do everything with AI. A lot of things.
I tell people that it helps you with my empathy.
Completely. And I feel it's funny, but even with certain proposals and stuff, like I use AI for everything.
Should.
Right. I sound like an idiot if you put me on. But then I also avoid dealing with somebody that I don't know that has to do it for me, rather than if I just understand.
But this is my vision, right? If you become dependent on it, and then it becomes either a charge, like for instance, now you can use ChatGPT and pay a small fee.
I don't have to.
If that, or it's free.
I've avoided it.
Now, what if it gets to the point?
If you use it at a certain point.
What if it gets to a point that you got to be paying $200-$300 a month?
There are.
What if it gets to the point where
exists already.
It's not free anymore? You got to buy a robot, and now you got to have a robot in your crib, which is fine because I saw Star Wars. I think it was kind of dope, but that's what I see. I see the future being no independent thinker.
Look at these Tesla robots.
Yeah.
I mean, you against that?
No, I think it's
I'm
amazing.
not. I think it's great.
But I think our capacity to have a say in what we really want to do and say, it's going to be limited.
I think the person who's really said it the most was Exhibit. Exhibit said, if there was a way, like back in the days when we had explicit lyrics and there was an explicit little lyric thing on the whole, children can't buy this or people can't buy because of explicit lyrics, the same thing with AI. If it's made out of AI, if it's lyrics made out of AI, if it's a song made out of AI, a video, a movie, has to have that stamp. Has to have that stamp that says, it was made by AI. If those things are regulated...
I didn't care about the stamp.
I don't care either. But there's some people that are like... there's people who are going to figure out how to cheat the game.
I was talking to Entice about that.
Yeah.
What if somebody wins an award and it's an AI artist? What do you do?
I don't care about awards. And that's
fair,
first.
Fair.
I don't care about awards. And second, if you really look at it, they don't really support hip-hop. They're not...
now they do. Because now they have it in the Grammys.
So-called.
Grammys,
After the 50-year...
Yeah, that was whack.
It was trash.
I didn't like that.
It was garbage. And you know who said it best? K.O.S won.
I didn't like that.
Like, they didn't like us on the 49th year.
But on the 50th
They didn't, on the 50th year, you're inviting us. Come on, bro.
K.O.S is the teacher.
Absolutely. And when he said this, it made a lot of sense.
So you think AI is inevitable? We should take
advantage of it. Because if not, you're going to lose out. You will lose out. I mean,
I guess it's the same like sampling. When back in the days, they're like, "Oh, you're not doing it."
It's the same thing as the internet.
Correct.
People the internet's the devil. Oh my God, the internet. I remember this lady. Oh, lo usa el internet, que es el diablo. No, how's that possible?
I never heard that, but I can see.
Because knowledge of self, right?
Yes.
Knowledge is the key. When people don't have when people have lack of knowledge and they don't understand what's going on and how things are really running, they're gonna always hate on it. Hate is the biggest thing, the easiest thing for somebody to do when they don't know.
Yeah.
Hate comes in.
Because they don't know, they feel
Because they don't know, they feel like, oh shit, you know what? I'm going to hate on that. And they hate on it. And they stay stuck there. And they stay stuck and they end up people passing them by. Your AI is going to make more millionaires now than the internet did. And I'm not just saying that.
But I was talking about that as well. Being a millionaire nowadays is not really a big deal.
It's not a big deal at all.
Back in the days, you get a punch by Mike Tyson for $1 million. You'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You would do that now?
No.
You'll be like, $1 million, give me $100 million.
Yeah.
You know
now we're talking.
Now we're
Right.
talking.
$1 million ain't shit now.
So you're with AI.
I'm with AI.
You're with AI.
Yes.
You have it on speed dial.
But you see, I don't think. No,
Does it turn on your lights when you get home?
no, listen. The funny thing is, AI can't change a hip hop DJ.
Okay, embark in that. Why?
Why? You gotta have skills. You gotta have skills. Just because.
But you can prompt it, man.
Do you DJ?
No, I do not.
Okay, and why don't you DJ?
Because I can't do it.
Exactly. That's my point.
But I'm not AI.
Doesn't matter. AI. How are you gonna teach and learn? How are you gonna? First of all, you can't teach AI feelings, and second, you don't know. AI is not gonna know what song to play at the right time,
Okay,
unless it takes statistics.
The first thing that came to mind was when they told me that you could show up a picture, you could upload a picture to AI and tell it to make a song from the picture.
Correct. Right, but that's a picture.
Yeah, but that's feelings.
But that's not DJing at a party.
You're talking about the atmosphere.
Talking about you DJing 2 records.
Bringing something back that's out of the... I mean,
There's
I
not.
hope not.
They
I
won't
hope
be.
not.
There's no. They can. AI can repeat and steal any crap that they can't steal to be an electrician, plumbing, those certain things because those are active things. But
you don't think it'll search the internet and gather mixtapes, gather different party events, and make it its
so
own?
you're gonna copy what somebody else did, is what you're saying. So, but that's the thing in DJing, you can't really copy. You can't
can
really
learn.
You can learn, but you still have to be an original.
You don't have your own original.
You gotta have that original
Okay, I
dialogue,
get it.
bro.
Yeah,
You can't be
you're
like,
You're right. You're right.
you know,
you're right.
there's not gonna be another Nike. There's Nike. There could be AI Nike, but I'm saying there's not really, nobody can make another.
All I realize, and all I know that I always say this, is that I don't know.
That's right.
All I know is that I don't know. But it is possible, and if it's possible, it might happen. Maybe not in our lifetime, but I could Ready Player One see that shit. I could already see somebody at a club that's not even a real club. They're in their virtual reality
goggles.
shit, and they're there like this. Like the first time I saw people partying, the silent parties. With
My God.
When I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
I was walking and I just see lights and I see people dancing. I'm like, "Yo, what's going on here?" They're like,
Mike.
"Put this on." The red is this DJ and the
Yes.
green is this DJ. I'm like, why would I want to do that?
My boy Mike was the first one to bring that down here.
I don't understand it.
It's awesome.
I put it on and I'm like, okay, so if I want to talk to somebody, what do I got to do? Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
It was awkward.
But it wasn't for talking. It was to have different kinds of variations of music.
Okay, but now if we bring AI into the equation, they can say the same thing.
But
It's not about emotion.
See, but the difference about AI is they're going to play a playlist rather than the DJ is going to go from left field to right field.
How many DJs don't have a set? You have a set.
I don't have a set all the time.
Word?
Yeah, I don't. Most of the time, I freelance everything. What I do is when I prepare myself, I'll maybe have a certain record that I don't have, and I add it to my library. And there's certain things that I know, okay, I want to play, but I don't go down the line and put out like. I know DJs now that work for big internet radio stations
I guess what
that
you're trying
do
to
that.
say is that you got to pivot. Because sometimes you're at a party and all of a sudden Black Rob will come in and you're like, oh shit, I got to throw this on.
Yeah, no, I don't do that either.
You don't do that either?
No, I don't. The reason is why is because most of the time they don't even want nobody to know that they're there.
Okay.
And second of all, it's corny to do that.
Okay.
I should be wanting to play Black Rob's record before him not even knowing that he was there.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's more like I do a lot of going back and coming forward. And I do a lot of the samples thing and going into the new thing of what it's made out of. And AI's not going to be able to do what I do, man. Like, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying
Listen,
it will.
my skills.
I just want to know your intake on that shit.
I know. And that's my intake because me and my sister had the same convo. And I told her, and she got mad at me because I told her embrace it. She's like, fuck that. I'm not embracing that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I had to come up with some logistics.
Yeah, but you're saying that because you feel strongly
It's because
that they ain't going to fuck with my shit.
They're not. They
like
not.
as a barber, I'm like, ain't
nobody going to fuck with
ain't
them.
nobody going
Nobody
to
gonna fuck with them at all.
Even
Same
if
as electrician.
Even if the cut comes out the same, the conversation,
How?
ambiance,
Right.
just the
whole-
love is not there.
But that's the same thing. So think about it. You go to a party and now we have our AI DJ. You're going to stand there and look at what?
True.
And then what kind of feeling like I'm a party DJ, so I'm going to talk on the mic and I embrace my crowd.
Let's get it straight. Hip hop DJ.
Right.
Because the DJs nowadays, they just press buttons.
Yeah. There's a lot of button
and
pushing.
throw cakes and shit.
There's a lot of
And
button
I'm like,
pushing.
yo, shouldn't you be DJ?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that genre they can do.
They can. I think AI will embrace maybe house music and because it's easy to DJ house music. Everything's so long, like 7-minute songs. Like you can get certain parts.
Yeah, you just got to keep the party.
You just got to keep the rhythm going, this and that.
And
But I know some house DJs that really go in, that play certain things, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to diss house. I love house music. But it's not that. It's just, in hip-hop, how can I say this? The BPMs, and you can't play.
feeling, the
Right,
heartbeat.
you can't play certain songs at certain times, and that's what AI is not going to be able to get. They're going to go with, oh, this song was dope back then. I'm going to play this song when everybody really doesn't want to hear that right now. You know what I'm saying? Or nobody wants to really listen to that right
So
now.
embrace AI, but AI will never get to the level that we're at.
Absolutely.
As humans or as hip hop
As hip hop,
lovers? As hip hop.
as hip hop lovers, they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to have the same admire.
Do you think hip hop's dying, or do you think hip hop's dead?
No, hip hop's not that. It's very alive and going. What there is
Because the people that loved it back then are alive.
well. Let's be real, okay? Okay, hip hop. See, hip hop has a lot of people who portray that they're all about it, you know, and the heads that really live for this stuff and really push the agenda know who's who. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real.
That's why I said, for us that we're alive.
Correct, but
Once we're in the dirt, gone.
yeah, but that's why you got to touch young souls.
Exactly.
You know, you got to teach. You know, I
Each one.
I embrace my young DJs, my young artists, and like I'm a pillar of Miami hip hop.
Correct.
I fight for Miami hip hop. Okay,
Yes.
and I know who. There's a bunch of kids out there that look at me, and and they get excited, bro. And they're like, oh my God,
It's like the source.
I got to meet Heron, and I got to, and to me, I embrace the youth. I try to. There's certain things I don't like, like when they come on professional to like, oh, my turn to perform. You need to download this, bro. I got 1,000 people in front of me. You want me to download this? You don't get it. You're not getting on. What do you mean I'm not getting on? I paid to get on. You should have came ready. Oh, well, nobody told me how to get ready. Well, now I'm telling you. So you can learn, so you understand how this works. You got to come with a zip drive. You got to come with 3 different types of ideas. CD, zip drive, fucking download them. That's your last choice. But I'm saying it shouldn't be like, if you see me rocking at 1,000 people and your time to get on, I'm not downloading dick. Come prepared. Come ready to go. And I've had to deal and teach the simplest thing to these young artists, not because I feel that I'm not gonna download your shit right now with 1,500 people in front of me. I'm just gonna fucking.
Yeah, but maybe this kid is the same kid that jumped into a truck and said, I know how to drive trucks when I don't know how to drive
Correct,
trucks.
but somebody still had to teach me, right?
Word.
And that's where I come in and I teach them. Listen, you like this. This is
the
what
way
it
to
is.
do it.
This is the way to do it. What you do is you got to have a zip drive. You got to have a backup plan, and then you have another plan besides that. I'm gonna download your shit now because I need you to go on. But just understand.
That, to me, is what keeps hip-hop going.
Right, absolutely. And then at the end, you make a new friend. And the kid looks up to you in different aspects. It's not.
And the rep gets bigger.
And the rep gets bigger, bro. And at one time, there was just a bunch of trash artists that you just be like, you know what? Because I kept getting booked for doing these open mics, and I was just like, I like, there was really no talent. But then you find a diamond in the rough. And then, he ends up being LMS, and he ends up being, serum, and he ends up being omniscient, or and then these guys, you listen to their stuff, and then you want to be like this guy. You want to be like this guy.
Listen to him.
Right, listen to him, and check this out.
He has
this
show coming up.
Right, and then that entices and embraces
artist
more.
fellowship. That's why I preach it all the time. Man. Without artist fellowship, we ain't nothing.
We ain't shit.
And that's what Miami needs to improve on.
Correct.
Big time.
But you gotta understand, Miami right now is in a good place.
Yeah, but that's because Crazy Hood and them pushed it.
Well, not just
with
Crazy
Nori's
Hood.
help.
Not just Crazy Hood.
But I'm saying
I gotta give it.
You know,
I'll tell you. You know who is it? I'll tell you who the guy is, and I'll tell you who it was. I gotta give it to, and as much as I'm pissed off at him, I gotta give it to H2O.
Yes.
Okay, H2O.
Yeah,
nobody knew about Lincoln Brewery.
He is hip hop.
H2O is a big pillar of Miami hip hop, and because of him, I would not know certain artists and certain people to this and that.
He's all love, man.
And H2O, he has his ways of doing things, and that's why maybe I'm upset about him about a couple things. But regardless of the point of anything, hands down, he is one of the biggest reasons why a lot of young artists and a lot of artists are out there and exposed, because he just put them out there. Between him, 6 Mills, and Beatbox 305, they had a monthly and brought 6 artists where nobody knew, and you would know who they are.
They still have it too.
They still do it.
Yeah.
H is not doing it no more, but 6 and Beatbox are still doing it. But I gotta give that to H. H, he really embraced and helped in the culture with these young artists and helped them really get exposed. Some of these guys never been on a stage. Never rocked the mic.
Opportunity, yeah, man. And he does it with love.
And he does it.
And they appreciate it.
I got to give it to La Plancha, too. I got to give it to Orion and XS with the La Plancha. But mainly H is the one that, and his philosophy of how, and embrace all these. Because I hate to say it, I don't have the patience. I don't have. There's too many.
You've been in the game so long, man. You want to come in and out, do your thing, give me the checklist right.
At
the same time, we're older, man.
No, tampoco.
We don't have that energy. We were just talking about it earlier.
Yeah, but it's a lot of. There's some trash out there, and I don't have the patience to see everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And going to one of H's party kinds of filters out the trash. You know what I'm saying? And I got to give it to him. He be putting up some good artists out there, and they come from far to come jump on his stage. You know what I'm saying? So, big ups to H on that. You still owe me an apology, bitch.
Yo, you got to get over here.
Yeah.
But, all right, we're almost at the end now. How you doing?
I'm good. Salud. You
yes,
need another one?
No, I'm good with this. We're going to go through some questions, and then we're going to finish up the interview. Whatever comes to mind, there is no right, no wrong. There's nothing that you have to say that you don't want to say, but whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
You saw the movie Goodfellas?
Yes.
You know when he asked Sonny, would you rather be loved or feared? Would you rather be loved or feared?
I'd rather be loved.
Why is that?
Because love goes as far away than fear. Fear stops people from being who they are. And once they portray something, they be in front of you. Like, if I was scared of you and you didn't like that I was wearing the color gray, I'd go downstairs and change my shirt black because I'm in fear of you.
So alter your reality.
Right. I embrace love. You can't get nowhere without love. And I learned that from Khaled. It sounds crazy, but he loves everyone, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Do you like to create from scratch, or do you like to, compare and then create?
I love to create from scratch.
Why is that?
Because I know I came up with it.
Which is the next question. Knowing or understanding?
Knowing. Because knowing is half the battle. I learned that when I was a kid.
Yeah, Joe.
Absolutely.
Who was it that said that?
Duke.
Shipwreck was my guy.
Right. Yes.
Shipwreck was
Storm
my guy.
Shadow.
Ooh. Wealth or riches?
Wealth.
Why is that?
Because longevity. You want to be in it for a while. Riches come and go.
Correct.
I got paid last month at the West Side Gun, but I'm broke again because I had bills. And I'm investing into something else. I got all kinds of
Dave Dash says it. He goes, I'm always broke.
I'm always
invest
broke.
my shit.
I'm always broke, bro.
Because you invest all your money.
My money goes from one to another to this, that.
It goes from 5 to 10, but then that 10 goes to 20.
And I still got to pay $2,500 rent, $1,000 in car, and insurance, medical. Bro, I'm always broke. I told my girl that yesterday, babe, I'm broke. And I went and grabbed a loan from Amscot because I'm broke. But make it happen. I made $20,000 last month. Like, you know, like, shit.
You're broke but not broken.
I'm not, correct.
Perception or reality?
Reality.
Why is that?
Because perception is only thoughts and think that you can do it. Reality is you did it. And I try to bring everything to reality.
Hell yeah. Joy or happiness?
Happiness.
Why is that?
Again, joy is a feeling. Happiness is a state of mind.
Ooh, that's a good one. Message. All right, the power of choice. Do you believe in it?
The power of choice. Do I believe in it?
Do you believe there's power in choice?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because everybody can make the right decision.
But it takes a lot, man. Sometimes
it doesn't matter. Your will
takes a lot.
And your soul.
Your will and your soul, your
has
intuition.
To be in the right place, in the mind frame.
Knowledge yourself.
Knowledge yourself, Papa.
Good problems. Do you believe in them?
Good problems? Yes.
What's a good problem to you?
Good problem is finding the extra $200 you needed to pay your rent inside your bank account that you didn't know that you had a stash. Or good problem is, you know, knowing you had enough gas to get home and you didn't fucking run out, you know what I'm saying, instead of going to the gas station to fill up. But at the end of the day, it's always knowing that, you know, your family loves you and, you know, you love back, you know.
Nice. Emotional intelligence. Do you use it and why so?
You know, it's emotional intelligence is good because when you know how a person feels and how they are and how they react and how they are amongst you and how with other people, you know how to be really with that person where...
Talk about body language.
Right. And you don't offend them. You know exactly how to be with them, you know what I'm saying? And you know
how to network and social.
Right. You figure out certain things, you know, just by conversations sparks everything.
Correct.
And having that conversation with a person with just a little bit of words and you taking the thought of, you know, I'm really gonna and listening to what this person is saying, it becomes different.
Yes, a different.
You know, it's
encounter.
Right, it becomes a different encounter, and you understand how people are more, man. You know, you know.
Hopefully.
Right, but even if that person wasn't in the right frame of mind, you're still gonna know. Okay, I can't fuck with this guy, like, you know. But sometimes, even the most craziest of sons of bitches that I know, I can literally just go to them like, you know, you're acting stupid. Calm the fuck down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's because they know me.
Emotional.
And then, exactly, and they know who I am and what I'm about. Like, I'm not.
You're saying this for a reason.
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
Pain versus suffering.
Damn. I like pain.
Why is that?
Because there's no gain with it. If you can't, like, embrace, like, damn, if I got to, how about chicks with clothes and shoes and shit like that?
Okay.
If you really think about it, these shoes don't fit me. They're 2 sizes smaller.
But they still wear it.
Still wearing it because, you know what, I got to look good as a motherfucker.
I always say suffering is a choice.
Suffering is a choice.
You know what I mean?
If you choose to go this path, you're going to suffer.
Those
but
shoes
you know,
hurt, but if you're going to wear them all night, you're going to suffer.
Right, you're going to suffer. But you chose. Your pain is everything.
All right. Logic or intuition?
Logic.
Why is that?
Because it's reality. It's truth. It's on point. Logic is... Intuition is good to have, but you can't, like, judge everything by intuitions.
You can't, but, like, what I always tell people is if you get a paper cut, you know you got cut.
Correct.
Your body's telling you something.
Correct.
So if your body's giving you this gut feeling,
right,
it's for a reason.
But if you drive 100 miles per hour towards this wall, you're going to run into and fuck yourself up, right? It's the logic of it, right? Logic.
I guess it's when intuition meets...
right, when it meets its path.
Yeah.
Yes.
Intelligence versus experience.
Experience.
All day, huh?
All day.
Because you might not be
the guy that knows how to drive that truck.
But you've been there before.
But I'm going to get there. I'm going to experience it.
Discipline or self-respect?
Self-respect.
All day, huh?
All day, brother.
Why is this?
Because you don't want to be that bum in the street that everybody talks shit about. Be real with everybody. Be good with everybody. Be honest with everybody. Make sure that everybody, gets what they deserve.
Keep it thorough.
Keep it thorough.
All right. Do you feel that you're racing against time?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Since when?
But think about it. Even Eddie Murphy said this. You only got 75 fucking winters. 75.
What are you going to do? Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, you got those. You're not going to live forever. No. And it's funny because, rest in peace to Roll Up, is when Roll Up passed away, and it really changed my mind about how I thought about living, because he was 53. He was 50, I think, when he passed away. I was 1 year less than him when he passed away. And then Sean Price passed away after that. And then another friend of mine passed. It was like a trickle of friends that passed away, and it was like I got to really change how I'm living, and I got to really analyze what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying?
Last conversation, one of the last conversations that I had with Da Vinci was about that. Because he had a show with Javi Dade and all these cats that were there. Money Mowgli was there, Shotty was there. And I was sitting with him the whole time, and I could see he was having a hard time. He was kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, you all right, man? He goes, yeah, man, I'm all right. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I get dizzy spells, and he was telling me all these things, and I'm like, man. It's like, why you come out here? And he looked at me, he goes, man, I don't know how many more of these I got. Yeah. So when he told me that, I was like, yo, you fucking serious to me? He goes, yo, I'm serious. Like, yeah. I don't know how many more of these I got.
Dios me lo bendiga, man.
So I was like, when he told me that, I was like, yo. So now when things come about, I'm like, you know what? I don't know how many more of these I got. Yeah, I got to go.
But that, it's funny. I feel that way every time I get on the booth. When I get inside my,
zone?
When I get in my zone, I feel like I'm not going to, I don't know if I'm going to ever play like this again. And I really, I'm up there. I try to hit the most emotional points in people's feelings and that shit they never heard.
Parties live. I was been there. I partied in your parties, and
I try to really hit that gut, bro.
Especially I really when you hit that hip hop R&B section.
Oh, bro,
that's when it gets down.
I hit people's feelings, man, and I knew I was doing the right thing when I had people come. I had this one guy come to me to the stage crying because one of his family passed away recently, and the song I played just
brought him
right back to it, to that family member. This guy, he came to me and hugged me, and I've never met this guy in my life, and I can't even remember his name.
But I remember
the situation, the encounter, and it was one of these parties where I had an out-of-body experience, and I knew I have out-of-body experiences all the time.
Like the movie Half Baked, you were floating in there?
Like I'm literally staring at myself DJ type shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
some, I mean, you're Peruvian, so you're from the source.
It's wild, bro. I've seen myself DJ a lot of times. I was like just staring at myself, and I gotta say, big ups to my brother Voodoo Ray. He was the first one I found when I really analyzed that I was having one. Yeah, he was the one that I was in New York.
You identified it on the moment.
What happened was I was opening,
like a dream time.
Let me explain. I was opening up for Just Blaze in New York. And I had just left Tony Touch's his Sirius XM radio show, and he had booked me. I flew into New York to do this party. Okay. And
oh wow, that was weird.
That wasn't even my phone. But anyway, so I go and I'm opening and I'm DJing, and Just Blaze misses his set. He's got stuck on the highway and it was snowing, and he couldn't be there by 1 o'clock. So Tony calls me from the radio station and says, yo, you're going to have to go past 1 o'clock. And I'm like, all right, cool, because I had to open up. I started at 11, and I was opening up for them. But he didn't know that in the crowd, there was already Busta Rhymes was in the crowd.
Oh, shit.
Set G was in the crowd. I mean, I can name it. There was tons of people, and they was just overlooking because they don't know who I was. Yeah, you were going. And I'm rocking, and I'm just rocking where I don't remember nothing, and I don't remember the records I played.
Time went quick.
All of a sudden, Just Blaze shows up. Was there.
Was this crates? Or
no,
was this
a laptop.
Okay.
Just Blaze shows up and he's there, and like, you know, he doesn't tell me to get off or this and that. But my friend Voodoo Ray taps him on the shoulder, and that's when I felt my body like hit my body, like.
So you were in the zone.
I was crazy in the zone.
Yeah.
I was so far in the zone that every record I played, this is all you heard, was bottles on the wall, clack, clack, things clacking, this and that. People, and then I was short, so the DJ booth was like this high, and everybody's looking over the DJ booth like, who's rocking? And it was just great. And then I ended up getting off, and Just Blaze gave me, you know, props, and it was Thurston Howell's birthday, and we ended up smoking a J inside Just Blaze's Lamborghini, and it was cold because it was cold as hell outside. And I went down the block, and it was another party that I was doing with Tony and Voodoo, and he showed my name on the marquee. It was a crazy night for me. It was full of emotions, and it was just crazy how it all ended up, that I've never really known that I was having an out-of-body experience, bro.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for Voodoo Ray, like, really bringing me back to earth type shit, where I felt myself land, like, on some shit, that I was like, wow, like, I do experience. So I've had other out-of-body experiences now that I know.
What it is.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so this leads to the next and last question. What's the favorite day of your life?
Ooh, wow. Man, so many, man.
Yeah, I know. Wow. It's a hard question, right?
It's a very hard question.
So that makes you think about who you are and what it is that you experienced in life, too.
I had a couple good times, I mean, first of all, when my two sons were born.
Yeah, of course. That's a given. That's a given.
I'm going to say 2 times. There's 2 times when one time was when we were doing a show with Rakim at Sidebar, and in the middle of his set, he stops, and he brings me out. He says, I need you guys to meet in Miami. Who's the one that brings me here?
Okay.
And he brings, Heron, come here. And he brings me out. This is Heron. And a lot of people knew me already, but
they didn't know you were the one that.
Right. And then that's when everybody clapped, bro. But I couldn't stop crying. You know, because one of my heroes, like one of my favorite songs as a kid was Eric B. Rakim's just This Is My Melody. Like,
of course.
And that's like one of my favorite songs. Besides Biz Markie's Make the Music with Your Mouth Biz. Those are my 2 go-to. My dad had a 71 Barracuda back then.
Oh, nice.
And whenever he was starting to come down to Miami to figure out where we live, I would take his car and drive it to high school. Because in New York, you have to move the cars from one side of the street to the other because of the garbage cans. So I would take advantage and take the car to school. And this cassette got stuck, and on one side was Biz Markie, and the other side was Rakim.
Hell yeah.
And I couldn't get it out. And
you didn't have to take it out.
No, but it was in my car. It was my dad's car. Oh. So I couldn't get the cassette out.
Oh, he was pissed.
And forget it, but he got stuck with it. But when the Benzie box couldn't come out, it was a wrap. Like, it was like, oh my God. But anyway, make a long story short, those were my favorite go-to songs. And when Rakim did that.
One of your favorite days.
And it was like, it was big. The other person that did that was for 2 years, me and Maceo were doing a monthly.
Nice.
And it was my birthday, and we were doing a big party at Blackbird. And
Transit Lounge or Blackbird?
At Blackbird.
Okay.
Not Transit Lounge. And I couldn't remember that name, Transit Lounge, but that's a good spot.
Same spot, guys.
Same spot, yeah.
Yeah.
And he stopped, he recognized me on my birthday and was like, yo, this guy right here, he's probably not the biggest DJ in Miami, but he's going to be, and you better watch him, and this and that. He picked me up. It was a great day. It was a good day, and it was my birthday, and him acknowledging that was great, you know what I'm saying? And
hell yeah.
It was just, those were 2 big days where acknowledgement and people really knowing what I do and what I embrace. And
I always tell people, favorite day is tomorrow.
Yeah.
That way you don't get too caught up in the mix.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
It is. Absolutely.
But Heron, man, I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate the
you too.
stories. I appreciate sharing the beer with you. I
Yeah.
appreciate the hip hop knowledge.
Thank you, brother.
Because if you guys ever need any hip hop knowledge, that's the guy to ask.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you, man. Thank you.
Heron, let them know where to find you. Let them know your handles. Let them know what's coming up next in the near future.
Well, anywhere across the board, you can DJ_Heron. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is the only DJ Heron, but pretty much it's DJ_Heron. I'm in Miami. I represent Miami, and I represent Miami hip hop. And just stay tuned, man. There's a lot of things coming on. You can check me out on DJHeron.com. Big ups to the Belly Boys, my boy Tone and Moet and all my Belly DJs, my guys, and big ups to all my friends, man. Like all the people that are out there to support me, man.
Artist fellowship.
Yeah, I embrace that, man. I embrace, I really enjoy. Like the culture now down here has changed a lot.
That's what I said. I think the underground now is art.
The underground is everything now. And if you guys don't know of Shadi or Money Mowgli or Orion or DJ XS,
The list keeps going.
Choco Valens,
No emotion.
No Emotion, like come on, these guys are doing things. No Emotion is internet, like his stuff is.
Bro, he's one of my favorites.
He's
bro.
killing
He makes
it,
me
bro.
laugh,
He's
bro.
funny as
I love
shit,
listening
bro.
to this shit.
I have his DVD, his Blu-ray.
He's awesome.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah, I have his Blu-ray.
Wow.
I bought it off him. He's also another guy, like you know what I'm saying.
Dashes. Listen to Dashes.
Dashes is another one. But there's a bunch of other guys. There's a bunch of guys. Just gotta tune into Miami and come to the shows.
Hell yeah.
Come support the shows.
Hell
Come
yeah.
see these guys, performing it. And the
Think
only
it's
way
beard. That's a new location.
The only way these guys gonna really get how Miami culture is really gonna get out more. And I'm not talking about the trill and the trap stuff. I'm talking about the real hip hop shit. The real guys that really go out there and do their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You gotta support.
You gotta support them, bro.
All right, Heron. Thank you for coming again,
Yo,
man.
thank you, man.
Guys,
Thanks.
I appreciate you. Harness the energy, exercise wisdom, live, love, and laugh. Peace.
Peace.